Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. So if you've watched this channel for long enough, you know that I'm a big fan of challenges within photography. So today I have come out with the intention of only shooting at a focal length of 85mm. So obviously it goes without saying that every photo you see today will be taken at 85mm. Now, I don't have an 85mm prime lens, so what I'm doing is using my 24-120, and I am fixing the focal length at 85mm. Now, I've spoken about this before in a previous video, that's what I sometimes do if I want to give myself a photography challenge here. I do have a 50mm prime, which I quite often use. Again, I mentioned that in a previous video. But for some reason, I don't know why, I do like 85mm as a focal length as well. So I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, why make it more difficult on yourself? You have a 24-120 lens on your camera. Now, the reason why relatively often, come out and just use my zoom as a prime lens is because it really helps me just, again, work my composition muscle, so to speak. So, I sometimes rely too much on the zoom, either to get me out of trouble or just to be kind of lazy and stand in one spot, zoom in and out until I get what I think is good as a composition. This is not going to be the most beautiful part of the video, is it? But anyway, sorry about that. Where was I? So yeah, it's mainly just because shooting with a prime at any focal length means that you have to work harder to find a composition. And that's what I like doing, just to keep myself kind of sharp, just to keep myself with a challenge of doing photography. So when I first thought about doing photography, rather than just buy the camera and the gear, I actually was lucky enough to borrow someone's camera. I hadn't used it for a while, and it was a Nikon D3200, so a DSLR. And with it, he gave me an 85mm prime lens. And he told me, and I have to say, once I used it, I found the same thing. It was a really great lens. So maybe that is why I like 85mm as a focal length. Who knows? Anyway, I'd be curious to know if any of you guys own an 85mm prime lens. Feel free to tell me in the comments below. And if so, tell me how often you use it. And also if there's any particular types of photography that you use it for. So I'm just working on a shot that you can see just probably where I'm pointing my finger here. And it's actually perfect for 85mm as a focal length. Again, I'm just having to adjust myself a little bit high and low. I'm also slightly nervous because there is an electric fence just here. And at that point there, I can actually hear it sparking and I can see the sparks on it. So I'm trying to get as close as possible to that without electrocuting myself. So far, so good. But I think I'm going to move on from this spot for sure. I walked up a bit further. It's the same with the fence up there as well. I don't know if it's because it's under the trees and the water's dripping on it. But anyway, always stay safe when you're doing photography. So out on location, I did actually add the reason why 85mm worked, but unfortunately I had audio problems with that particular video clip. So I've decided to add it here when back at home. So what 85mm does is enable me really to isolate the subject of the photo. And of course, that also applies to any of the longer focal lengths. So I've decided to head into the woods a little bit here. Now, if you are going to try this, and I would recommend that you try this, particularly if you are kind of more starting out in photography, then just go out with the purpose of using it to perfect your skill. I'm not expecting at all today to get any amazing shots. Nothing portfolio worthy, that's for sure, but that's not the point. As I said, it's about learning the technique of finding compositions with a fixed focal length. It's about learning to use your feet to find that rather than just zooming in and out. It's also about just taking your time to get the right shot. Now, obviously today I'm fixing at 85mm. So what I'm finding is really that I'm having to step back because my normal position for when I'm doing my kind of 50mm or even just using my zoom lens is less use of the feet. And actually I find that sometimes I'm stepping forward more. But as I said, with the 85mm, I'm finding that I'm stepping back a lot more just to try and get that composition right. So of course, the beauty of doing this with a zoom lens is you can just do whatever focal length you want. So 35, 40, 50, 85, whatever fits best. So if you are on a budget, of course, you don't want to be spending all your money on prime lenses. So better just to get that zoom lens and use that. Now, as I said, you have to be pretty disciplined. I said this in a previous video to keep it at the 85 or 50 or whatever you choose. In the past, I kind of just put a bit of tape there just to remind myself. I don't really do that anymore. Although I did reach for the zoom ring at one point, and then promptly reminding myself that I was doing this wholly at 85mm. And because the conditions today are just kind of more standard daytime conditions, I certainly don't feel the need to take anything else because the conditions aren't really warranting any kind of amazing shot. So all in all, I recommend that it is something that you at least try. It will get you thinking about photography in a slightly different way. It will get you thinking about your composition and using your feet. Therefore, it will help you improve your photography. And of course, it's fun as well. As always, thanks for watching and see you next time.